What's up, everybody? This is Coach MJ. Happy Friday. I hope you've had a fabulous week and that you are just one or more steps closer to reaching your goal of time and income freedom. Today, we're going to be talking about a little bit different twist on what I'm normally talking about. So normally I'm talking about the benefits and the upside of working for yourself, specifically as a coach, all of the wonderful benefits of working for yourself, especially if that's something that you have always wanted to do. But today we're going to actually be talking about the dark side of the coaching profession, because I want to make sure that you have a balanced understanding of what you would be getting into if you decide to monetize your expertise, what you already know, what you already can do, and go out on your own and create a coaching experience that other people pay you money for. I want you to know everything that's involved, because there will be nothing worse than having you to think that it's all bubblegum, lollipops, and rainbows on this side, when it's not. Everything has pros and cons, everything in life, whether it is overall seen as a positive thing or not, it has some downsides. And so today we're going to be talking about several downsides to the coaching profession. But obviously, I'm not going to be saying these things to talk you out of becoming a coach, because coaching is what I do and coaching is what I want to help you do. So I'm going to have a little bit of a different spin on each of these items. Make sure you're taking notes so that you can see where, even with a con or something that's perceived as a con, how you still get to win. So go ahead and share this video and let's get into it. The first thing that really any entrepreneur, not just in the coaching profession, but any entrepreneur has to deal with, and all these are going to begin with a D. The first one is the dread, or in other words, the fear that comes with stepping out on your own. So there is a level of comfort and certainly familiarity with working a job. You know what's expected of you, and you know what you can expect. You get that weekly or bi-weekly check. Come hell or high water, that money drops into your account on Friday or Tuesday or whatever day it is you get paid on. And so there's not really much fear associated with having a job, outside of if things kind of get shaky in your industry. Maybe there's some fear of a layoff or something of that nature. But for the most part, people are not fearful when they're in a job situation. However, as an entrepreneur, you are always starting out with a level of dread. Like, you're just like, I don't want to lose. What if it doesn't work out? It's usually those voices in your head, the imposter syndrome. What if I'm not good enough? And so it can start out at least with a sense of dread. You might be dreading the things that you're not too sure about, dreading those actions and those behaviors that are necessary to kick off a successful business. But they're not necessarily associated to the part of your business that you want to do, right? So you have a dread of those things. And actually, if you give into that fear and dread, it can actually stop you from moving forward in your business, because anything that you are afraid of and you don't know how to manage, especially if you don't know how to manage your mental state around it, if you neglect those things and they are essential to moving your business forward, you're not going to do those things, and it's going to hold your business back. There's no neutral really in life in general, except on a car. But even that's not truly neutral. You're either moving forward or you're moving backwards. And so when you have that dread, the thing is, and I say this often, you feel the fear, but as an entrepreneur, you do it anyway. And I was telling a friend of mine the other day that entrepreneurs are crazy. Anybody who would take on this life that we live has to be crazy, when you could just do something else that has a lot more, at least apparent security. Now, I don't think there's any security in a job. I'm actually more afraid of working for somebody else than working for myself. But that's the entrepreneurial mindset. But there is that dread. But the flip side of that dread is that when you feel the fear and you do it anyway, that's when you build that confidence and that boldness and that certainty and courage that are so essential to keep moving forward as an entrepreneur. Because there's never going to be a day when you are an expert coach when the next big hurdle or the next big assignment that you take on is not going to be fearful. So I think some people make the mistake of thinking that if you dread something, or if you have a lot of fear or deep concern or anxiety around it, then that means you're doing the wrong thing. But actually, especially when it comes to launching a business, it actually means the exact opposite. When you feel that dread, that means you're about to dip your toes into something bigger that's going to get you the bigger rewards. And that's kind of leading into the next one I'm going to give you, is that the danger that's associated with starting your coaching business, right? There's a lot of risk. It can be very, no, I can be, it is very dangerous to start a business. You are in danger of paying your money, or I'm sorry, investing money and not getting a return on that money. You're in danger of putting something out there in the marketplace and the marketplace not be interested, which means you don't make any money off of it. There are a lot of risks involved. If you leave the job that you have right now and jump off into being a coach, and for whatever reason, maybe you're not a good student, so you don't get your own coach to tell you the right way to do it. You just kind of wing it and it doesn't work out. Now you're in danger of not even being able to go back to the career that you had, because now you've lost that continuity, that momentum that you had over there in the job world. And so there's a lot of risks and dangers involved with starting a business. It just is. It could fail. Now, I believe that coaching, you'd have to really work really hard to stop a coaching business, because it's based off of what you know. You don't need a ton of equipment and office space and all that. You're selling your intellectual property, right? So I think it's hard to fail, but the way you can fail is if you don't know what you're doing and you just winging it out here. Like I said before, you need to get yourself an expert coach like me in the Build Wealth While You Travel.com challenge that we have coming up. But other than that, it's not likely. I won't say it's not likely. It's really hard to make a coaching business just flat out fail. But what you can do, what the danger is that you can run into, is spending a lot of time, which is extremely valuable, spinning your wheels. You can also waste a lot of money. Let's say you're using paid advertising as part of your funnel to bring your clients to you, and you don't know what you're doing when you're trying to create those ads and put them out there. You can end up wasting money there. But it's not the coaching business's fault. It's, you not necessarily knowing what you're doing. But there's a lot of money out there, time out there, energy out there, and not get a return. Here's what's true. Businesses of this nature really have been booming in the COVID season, but there are a lot of businesses that failed due to COVID. Businesses that were dependent on people being in person, people coming together, people working in offices downtown, and all those things that stopped because of the quarantine. And because of the pandemic. So a business can't fail. That's always a danger. And we can't avoid that. There are no guarantees in business, but then there's no guarantees in a job. There's no guarantees in life. But that's one of the things you have to take on, is that dangerous side, that risky side. But again, the flip side of taking on that danger, taking on those risks, is that there's great rewards. That is why the CEO or the owner of the company that you work for, if you have a job, that's why they make so much money and you make so little. You've taken on zero risk. There's no danger to you. You're just a cog in the wheel. They've taken on all the danger. They're the ones that have to create the product and put it out in the marketplace and have people communicating about it and people selling it and people managing and all that. But it could fail. And having that constantly over their heads keeps them inspired to move forward. But because they are taking on those dangerous pieces, they get the rewards of making the millions. And so we shouldn't really be frustrated when you look at your paycheck and say, why don't I make more? Well, why should you in a job? You're not taking on all the risk. They get the rewards. And so that's what you get when you're in the coaching profession. Yes, it has a lot of dangerous sides to it, but you can't focus on the dangers, the risks. Because if you do, really, you wouldn't even get out of bed in the morning, because there's risks involved with just going around your house. A house is one of the most dangerous places in the world. A lot of accidents happen inside of homes, but you don't consider that when you're going to the kitchen. You just walk down the hall and you go do it, right? It's the same thing. Crazy entrepreneur brain. If you have it, you know what I'm talking about. You look at those risks and you're like, I don't care about that, because look at all the millions I can make. Look at all the things I could get out here in the world. Look at all the impact I can make. And that's the next one that we're going to talk about on the dark side of the coaching profession, is the doubt. And where does the doubt come from? Now, this is different from the dread, the fear we talked about. This is when you have exposed yourself and your message to the world. So you've packaged it up and you're out there and you're telling people about your expertise, about your magic, about the things you can help them to do, the pain you can help them get out of. You are exposing yourself to the world, right? And that comes with a downside depending on your personality. You know, people that like to be super private, once they start to blow up, whether you're a coach or whether you're just in any space, and even if you don't become what they would call a celebrity, if you have 100,000 followers, and that will happen because you're going to be good at what you do as a coach and people will begin to follow you. Now you're opened up to ridicule. Now you're open to people maybe being disrespectful. Your privacy may sometimes be in jeopardy because that's just the nature of how people are. When they see a figure that has risen above the masses, they often go after them in ways that they see as positive or in ways that are negative, right? And so there can be some doubt associated with being exposed. Now you're really dealing with imposter syndrome. Now you're like, do I really want to be this exposed to the world? Do I really want people to, like I was talking about doing this, do I really have what it takes? Do I belong here? That's where that doubt creeps in. It creeps in when the bigger your stage becomes, right? That can be the dark side, because no matter what your point of view is on the problem that you solve or on your expertise, there's somebody out there teaching the exact opposite. And sometimes their followers will come and they'll be hassling the people in your tribe, or, you know, that type of thing can happen. And that can create doubt because most people are not used to being maligned by a lot of people. Haters come out the bigger your stage is on, and you have to have broad shoulders for that. But the upside to being in that exposed position and dealing with that doubt is that you're also having a greater impact, right? You're having a much greater impact on the world because you are exposed to so many people. A lot of you want to become coaches and want to be in that space because you want to help more people than you can help just helping on the one-offs and people you happen to know personally, right? You want to help on a larger scale. You're going to have to expose yourself to the world. It's going to create that doubt. Every time somebody comments on your ad or comes into one of your groups or on your page and says something contrary to what you're teaching, or you have a client who doesn't quite get the results they want and they start pushing back and trying to blame you, all that stuff creates that doubt because now you're on a bigger stage. But like I said, you are having the greater impact at that point because you have so many people with their eyes on you. The other good thing about it is that you can be authentic. And this is one thing that it just didn't exist for me in corporate America. There was so much scrutiny and there was so much of a need to not be authentic, to make others feel comfortable or to prove yourself to others. I haven't had to prove myself to anybody in that way for years. And it's phenomenal to not have to behave a certain way, not because I feel like it's the right way, but because somebody else has decided it. And I have to prove my ability over and over again in interviews and in projects and on meetings and all that. That was a stress that you don't even realize you're under until you're out from under it. And then you're like, I don't have to prove myself to anybody but me. And I know I've got what it takes. So if nobody else can get on board, too bad. But the thing is, when you are your authentic self, a whole lot of people are going to get on board. And that's another reason why you draw that larger audience and you become exposed. And that's where the doubt comes in, right? Everybody who speaks on stage or sings on stage or does anything on a large scale, if they're being honest, they will tell you that every time it's go time, they feel a type of way. And you're going to feel that type of way, that doubt, that fear. Am I going to mess up? Am I going to do all that? Is just doubting yourself. But when you can show up authentically, that's the upside. Especially Black women. How tired are you of having to do things to make other people feel comfortable? How tired are you of always having to, what is the word? Code shift and change the way you talk, change the way you dress, and always be thinking, are they going to like my hair and all that? Being your authentic self, even as you are on those high exposure platforms, right, that help you have that doubt, you can, by realizing you are able to be your authentic self and have a greater impact. And I think about ones like Tabitha Brown, you know, the actress from North Carolina who has just really exploded on the scene in the last 4 years or so. And she's always talking about how she's able to be herself. She's not having to do her hair a certain way or do her voice a certain way to make others accept her as the actress that she is. And now, oh gosh, author, cook, you know, speaker, all these other things, right, have come out of her being herself. When she started being herself, things exploded. And that's what's going to happen for you. So that's what's on the flip side of that doubt that comes from the exposure, the greater impact from being yourself and just being able to be who the heck you are every single day. That's going to make such a huge impact. So we've talked about the dread. We've talked about the danger. We've talked about the doubt. Now, let's talk about something that's pretty obvious that a lot of times makes people shy away from entrepreneurship, but there's a way you can manage it so that it doesn't have to be what you think it might be. And that's the demands of being a coach, right? Creating content and creating training and all of these things and doing the back office stuff, managing the money and paying taxes and you know, all of the banking and just all the things you have to handle, especially if you've never owned a business before. You can look at it and even though you've never owned a big idea of what it might be like, and you're like, I don't know. I had a friend of mine tell me, I don't want to be an entrepreneur. It's too much work or something she said. I'm just like, nah. I'm always coming back with a nah. I worked for somebody else and going through playing that game for 40 years only to end up with a little 401k. That's hard. But I get it. Everybody doesn't have the entrepreneurial mindset. But getting back to the demands, it is a lot, but it can be managed. You just have to have a system of managing it all. And I know that kind of sounds like, well, of course. But the thing is, a lot of people, I've seen a lot of new business owners just kind of jump out there. They don't have a plan. They don't have a system. They don't have any guidance. They don't know what they're doing. And they just start spending money on inventory if it's a product-based business. And I'm just like, why do you have $8,000 in inventory and no business plan? No idea what you're going to do to get this stuff into the hands of paying customers. But people do that all the time. That's what creates a lot of that stressful 16-hour days and all that stuff that make people think that entrepreneurship might not be for them. It's not that it's not for you, but how you handle it can affect that. Those demands, they're going to be there, but there's demands on you in everything in life. It's a matter of how you structure your life and your business so that it frees up your time. And I believe that with the right business model, and you can free up your time from day one. This is not well, after I've been in business 5 years, it'll get better. No, I'm talking about from day one. I don't remember the last time I worked a 40-hour week. Like, I don't work like that. I just work till I accomplish the things on my to-do list, and then I have the rest of the day off, or I split my day up or whatever, right? Every business model does not have that 16-hour work week. You're going to work harder for yourself than you did for other people. Why in the world would you want to do that? Why would you work harder and longer for yourself just to down the road be better off? It should be better than the job, and I believe it should be better from day one. That's what I say. Other people may not agree, but that's what I say, and that's what I've experienced, right? But the other side of the demanding part of your coaching business is going to be that you're in charge. You're the HNIC. You are that one, that authority. And it's not about being able to lord over your team, because you're going to need a team to get to the wealth. But it's not about that, but it's about knowing that all of your creative ideas, which have been, because you have authority and you have creativity. It's two parts of the flip side of the demands. All those creative ideas that have been going into la la land or into a black hole with your employer. Sometimes they might have even taken your idea and presented it as their own, or they just say, oh, that's not going to work. And they just all those things can come to the forefront, and you can try them in your business. Yes, there's a chance it might not work, but you have the authority to express your creativity however you want to and bring others on that can do that as well. That is so freeing and liberating. You won't recognize how much of yourself you have been squashing until you get out of that space and you start to build something for yourself. And you see, I've been holding on to a lot. I said it a few days ago, and I say it all the time, that thinking And creative thought is the currency of success. Having the time and the mental clarity to just spend time coming up with ideas. Sometimes I can't even write down my ideas fast enough because they're coming. Things I can do to market my business, things I can do to make my clients get a better outcome, things I can do to build a team. All of those things, I have time to come up with those ideas. When you have a job telling you what to do with your time, 50 hours a week, and then you got TV telling you the rest, you can't be that creative one, that person, and you never get to a place of really being an authority. Because even if you lead a team at your work, you ultimately are beholden to the person at the top, or if it's a board of directors, the people at the top. But the flip side of taking on the demands, all that responsibility, is that you get to be at the top, and your creativity gets to finally be expressed in its fullness. Been wondering about, would this work? They told me it wouldn't work. Nobody telling me what won't work except the outcomes and the results. So that's that. So we've got the demands. Now we're going to talk about one, and we're almost out of time, but we're going to talk about disconnection, or the isolation of being an entrepreneur when you are a coach, especially. So one of the benefits, I guess, of working for somebody else in a workplace is that you have coworkers. Even if you don't like most of your coworkers, you probably have one person that you can chat with or talk to. You might even have a best friend at work. You have a feedback loop with your manager, so you know if things aren't going well or if they are going well. You have that camaraderie. You have people to talk to. You're just around folk, except for obviously we know COVID kind of shut some of that down. When you are a solopreneur starting out, and you're in your home office, I'm in my wealth boutique right now. When you are here, there is no coworker whose cubicle you can drive by to complain about how stupid the boss is. You don't know how beneficial that is to your mental health, so you don't go off on your boss until you don't have that. Or when something's not working and you're frustrated or you have a question, there's nobody to ask because you are that one. You are isolated, you are disconnected. And I've had some meltdown moments where fortunately I have reached out to some people who I have in my high level network that I'm now included in, which is the flip side of the disconnection from the work world and from coworkers. I have these high level folk that are just crushing life that I'm connected to, but you have to be intentional about creating that. But so I had some meltdown moments where I was just like, oh my goodness, if I can't get a hold of somebody, I'm going to lose it. And I had to be very intentional about connecting with accountability partners and with others who could help me deal with that, because I didn't realize, like, I will never say I miss where I used to work. There are a couple people who I enjoyed working with, and certainly I'm still connected with them in real life, right? We get together every blue moon and things of that nature. But having them nearby, and then just knowing when I had a question or when I had something that we were working on, I wasn't just working on it by myself. I usually was part of a team. There's a benefit to that, right? You can create that, though, as a coach. First of all, you need to have a coach yourself. You can't be coaching other people if you don't see the benefit of having a coach. You need a coach to help you build your coaching business. You also need a network of other entrepreneurs. Some of them need to be coaches, because even other entrepreneurs in other spaces can't understand what you're doing because it's different from their business. So you need to have both. Entrepreneurs in the coaching realm who are in your network, who you have access to, who you can communicate with and ask questions of. You can have multiple coaches. Now, you want to make sure that when you're taking advice and guidance from people, that you're not coming from too many different standpoints, because again, too many cooks spoil the broth. But you can have, like right now, I'm dealing with a couple of different coaches, right? And learning from them so that I can grow and get to the millionaire status where they are, right? So you need that. You need to be intentional about building your network. And then, so we've talked about a vertical or upline, you having coach or a couple of coaches pouring into you what they have done to succeed. You need people on the same level as you who are your peers as entrepreneurs who can also pour in and can give you that camaraderie, that encouragement, that support. Then you need a team. You need a team downline from you helping you, because you're not going to get to any type of status in the coaching world continuing to be a solopreneur. That's just a job that you own, right? You're going to eventually need an assistant. You're going to need, marketing people. You're going to need accounting and legal and all of those things. All of that is a part of having you be connected, so you don't have to feel like you have to know everything and do everything, because you don't know everything and you can't do everything, especially things like legal and accounting and finance and all that. Don't try to. Isolation is real. That disconnection, that's a real feeling. And I've been there, but I learned how to overcome it and how to manage it. So the last one that we're just going to kind of throw in here at the end is, we've talked about, taking on the dangers and the risks of owning a business. And one of those that a lot of people get really distracted by is the money. They don't think about all the money they spend on their college education with student loans that never go away. They're like a family friend. Or the house you buy, the lace front you buy, the car, the wedding dress, the trips to here and there, spending all kind of money, swiping cards and all that. But when it comes to your business, where it can actually make you 6 or 7 figures, now we're looking at debt. Now we want to be responsible with how we spend our money. And I'm not saying it's not a good thing to be responsible with how you spend your money. But if you want to, the best investment you can ever make is in yourself and in your business, where the returns all come to you, right? You put money into a college education, the university makes money. But a lot of people that get college degrees can't even get a job in the field that they got their degree in. So that's not always the best investment for you. Certainly the things you do in yourself, cars, those aren't investments. But yet we go into debt for those things, but then we don't see value in the debt that you spend on your business. But here's the surprise ending. It's not debt when you're putting it into your business. It's an investment. That's not an investment that's always going to reap rewards. It's not going to reap rewards the next day, but it's going to reap rewards a lot faster than that other stuff, because those other things are meant to spend money. Your business, when you set it up the right way and know what you're doing, is going to make you money. It's going to create the wealth, the legacy, the fortune that you want to have. So we're talking debt versus investment. And it always gives me a shake my head kind of moment when I hear people who have student loan debt and credit card debt from consumer spending and all of this, balk at the idea of investing in their business to make money, to get away from the job that's only going to pay you so much. And if they want you gone the next day, you're gone. To get out of that situation, then they're really cautious about it. But I think it's not because they're wondering about spending the money, because they've already shown that they spend money. It's about knowing whether they can do it. That's what it is. And that may be what's holding you back. You might be thinking, yeah, that sounds good, MJ, but I just don't know if I can do it. Here's the thing. In your current state, you can't do it. Why? Because you don't know how. And you should know how. You've never learned how to run a coaching business. You've never learned how to leverage the expertise that you have right now, the things you already know. You already know a bunch of stuff. You're an expert, whether you know it or not, whether your job acknowledges it or not. You are an expert in some things. And you can leverage that in a business now and create a 6-figure coaching business. And we ain't talking about over the course of years. We're talking about over the course of months. It just depends on how much effort you are willing to put in, sis. But you can do it. But somebody else that's already gone the path ahead of you has to show you the way. Just like when you were in school, you had teachers showing you how to learn the different subjects that you learned. The same is true in business. I would say it's even more so true in business, because some subjects in school can be self-taught to a certain extent. But learning how to do a business from square one, don't be naive to think you can just wing it and figure it out on your own, when all of the upper level folk, the high level achievers in this space, have gotten up under the tutelage of somebody else that drastically shortens the learning curve and gets you to a place where you are able to, you know what, throw up deuces to your boss. Give him his pink slip. Not you. You don't get no pink slip. They're going to get their pink slip. And go after your dreams. If you're anything like me, you want to travel the world. And so I want to invite you to join the Build Wealth While You Travel Challenge. It's about to kick off on 10/11. Do not sleep. Go out there, get your VIP ticket now so you don't miss one of the few spots. We're not having a huge group because we want to be able to give more personal time and care to each person who is a participant. So I think we've got 41 spots still available, something like that. Get your ticket, buildwealthwhileyoutravel.com. That's where you need to go to get your VIP ticket. It's a 4-day challenge, and over the course of the 4 days, and it's not full days, it's just like an hour or two each day, but you're going to get so much content. It's going to be like drinking from a fire hose. If you ever heard that expression, it's like the water's just coming out, and all you're going to be able to do is take notes. But you will be implementing the things that I will be teaching you. This is not just gathering information that's going to collect dust. Every day, you're going to have things that you have to do to get your business up and running as quickly as possible, right? You can do this, and it's within your power to do it. You already have almost everything you need, but you need to go through this 4-day challenge. BuildWealthWhileYouTravel.com is where you can go to get your VIP ticket right now. I'm looking forward to being with you and helping you to learn everything. Like, you might not even know what it is. You might think, yeah, there's some stuff I know, but I can't really be a coach in it. Yes, you can. Anything that you know that somebody else does not know but wants to know makes you an expert and makes them your potential client. And you can go out there and get them, and they will invest money with you to get your magical solutions out, because they have some type of a problem in their life, whether it's their health, their finances, relationship, whatever your magic is, that is holding them back in life, and they want to be free. So anyway, go out there right now to buildwealthwhileyoutravel.com. Get your VIP ticket. You'll see there's a basic economy ticket available as well, but you're already ready to go VIP. You're not going to shortchange yourself because you want to get this thing done as fast as possible. Get out there, get your ticket, get in this challenge. Don't wait. Then you'll go out there and find out all the seats are sold. I don't want that to happen to you. So anyway, I look forward to meeting you in the challenge starting in 10 days. Meanwhile, I will be back next week with some more trainings, but you're never going to get from these short broadcasts what you're going to get in that intensive 4-day experience. So don't cheat yourself. Get out there now, sis, and get your seat reserved for the Build Wealth While You Travel challenge coming up. Talk to you guys later. Hope you have a fabulous weekend. Take care.